Hey guys, it's Jovi and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. How is everyone doing today? Okay, before we begin, don't forget to like this video. Like it now because you're going to forget to like it later. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Jovi Beauty on all platforms. Please follow, please subscribe. I told y'all yesterday I wasn't feeling, I wasn't in the best mood. I think I'm a little bit, I think my mood is a little better today, but I just don't feel like being on camera. I'm literally laying in my bed. If we're gonna keep it a buck, I'm literally laying in my bed. Yes, I'm dressed or whatever, but anywho, I hope everyone is having a great day. Okay. Hold on, where's this thing? Okay, I hope everyone is having a great day, all that good stuff. And I guess I just wanted to come and talk today about some more of the news that is going around because it's just hysterical and diabolical. And we know I like to run my mouth, okay? Don't, like I said, don't forget to like this video, like it now. If you have not already liked the channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Jovi Beauty on all platforms. I also have a lifestyle channel on YouTube called Lifestyle by Jovi. So go ahead and follow me over there as well. Y'all can drop y'all comments down below because, like I said, I'm chilling and I'm literally chilling and laying here and just want to talk to y'all about some of the news that we've been seeing. So what else? I told y'all yesterday that Muskie French offices were raided by the French authorities. Okay, he got up on the Twitter because again, it's the Twitter and it will forever be. I cannot wait for them to confiscate the Twitter and whoever ends up with it to turn it back to Twitter. I'm just over it. But anyway, they raided the French offices. I spoke about that today. And then Muskie tried to get up on the Twitter and make comments, and like the French governmental offices were bucking at him, was like, keep fucking around, you gonna find out. We ain't scared of you. We don't care how much money you got. Man, listen, I'm loving this for the whole White Nation administration, child. Plus, they came out with more, I guess, because it's millions of pages of these files, child. And we saw comments from, let me tell you something. You know what's so insane? Remember I told y'all yesterday, Muskie literally, when he was little, would watch Superman and he wanted to be Lex Luthor so fucking bad. It is embarrassing how lame you can be and be a billion trillionaire, richest person in the world. Like the audacity. Like I would be embarrassed to be so rich and so damn lame. Like you could buy cool creds. I don't know. Like it just, so he was speaking. There's emails with him basically going back with Jeffrey. We're gonna call him Jeffrey because we ain't saying the E name right now. Jeffrey, and like, oh, he's talking about the UN, the UN will be in town. You know what? It's the gag. Y'all gotta read between the lines because he's talking about the UN will be in town. I guess that's a good time for Jeff to, be able to, get information, get these men's who are, UN officials from other countries, get them caught up. It's a great time to get them caught up, with some Russian girls or some whoever girls or, whatever, boys, who knows, just like the during the Republican convention and all that. It's a great time for Grindr and to go crazy. It's a great time for espionage to go down because, like we spoke, most of these men most of these men, I'm not saying all of them, because no, but most of these men cannot control their penises, okay? At all, at all, at all. Cannot control their penises. So yeah. He was talking about, coming to the UN, and he can't, again, being so smart. Well, no, Elon isn't smart. He is conniving. He's able to, white power, use that for his benefit, et cetera, et cetera. But like, common sense ain't common with people like Eli, because Jeff was here talk about, oh, we're gonna have things coming, you should come. And then Elon being a dumbass talking about, oh, I run 2 businesses, I don't have no time to come to. When you were literally begging this man to come to any one of his parties, you's obsessed. You know what this man does. Okay. Common sense gotta be common. Okay. Common sense gotta be common, but I guess not. I guess maybe only common sense is common for us, because I cannot understand it. I don't understand, and then Jeff was really upset at Elon and was like, just had to spell it out for him, like, you fucking idiot. Basically, he called him a fucking idiot. And I keep saying that, especially those uber rich people, it's a lot of inbreeding up there. It's a lot of inbreeding. This is why, and I'll stand on this. I keep telling you, this is why a lot of their plots and plans to take over the world, like they think they pinky in the brain. They want to take over the world. This is why they never work out. And it's not just now, historically. This is why it never works out. But that whole interbreeding within, I'm not even interbreeding. It's not even that her whole it's all in the same DNA facets. After a while, it creates mental, I don't want to say the R word on here. Like I don't, and you know what? It's so crazy because it has happened over and over again in history. If y'all know anything about the oh my Lord, the name just went away from me. I was about to say the Hasbros, but that's toys. It was a European family. They were really related to damn near everybody. And they interbred. They married their brothers. They married their sisters. They had that fucking chin. They, they inbred so much that they bred themselves out, and even if they didn't, breed themselves out by, being so inbred that they passed early in age, they could not, they lost their own fertility. They were mentally, extremely mentally, damn, I don't want to say the word. They had extreme mental issues, because of all the interbreeding. If someone from their lineage did survive, they had to attempt to try to engage with somebody, you know what I mean, with somebody who was not a fucking descendant of them. Like, I don't understand it. It's just like middle America. That's why a lot of them so slow, because they have, it's a lot of, it's a lot of my cousin. It's a lot of, that's my uncle. It's a lot of, that's my brother. And we, that's my daddy's baby. There's a lot of that going around. It's a whole generation. I used to say, the 90s, it was a lot of teen pregnancies happening, and I really think, especially the 90s. And I've always thought, when you don't know who the father of a teenage girl's child is, in my opinion, I'm gonna stick to it. I don't care what you think. In my opinion, it's a 75% chance it's her own dad. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And these are the people who were raised up. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She tell you she is a child of all of that. She's a child of all of that. And like, the common sense is so common, and it's a lot. It goes a lot deeper than you think. But nonetheless, we talking about genetics when we were just talking about Elon Musk and the stupidity of it all. And honestly, I love that for him. I love that they're rating him. I love that Congress recently, I think it was today, it might have been last night, I don't know. They subpoenaed him to come and tell him about this whole Doge situation. Child, listen to me. They subpoenaed him to come. So France rated you yesterday. France bucked at you on social media because they ain't playing these games. And now we know France, they've been easy. They've been calm. But let's not act like France was not them people that was like off with a bitch head. Let's not pretend that before France turned it down, they weren't turned up because a motherfucker said, what? Let them eat cake. Y'all know. Okay, France is about that life. France is a descendant of, we about that life if you fucking with us. And Elon is fucking with the world. So I think they done activated some deep-seated shit in the French people that is like, we about to handle you. We're over this. We're about to handle you, okay? White on white crime. White on white crime. Oh my God. Somebody said I can't find a man who will marry me in the comments. Baby, I've been married. What's wrong with you? Are you slow? Oh, that's how I know you're not from here. I've been married to it. Duh. Like, what's wrong with you? I know y'all think, stereotype, try to stereotype black people and black women. Y'all think we don't get married. Y'all think, I don't know what y'all think. Y'all think we all baby mothers, or I don't know what the fuck y'all think. But yeah, no, that's not, no. Yeah, no. Okay. All right. That's why you're probably sitting up in the comments. Oh, I get it. Because it's a male loneliness epidemic, especially with the white men in middle America. And you're lonely. You probably never been married. Nobody wanted to marry you. I got it. Anyway, let's focus. Because we talking about the news. Anywho, girls, then, mind you, now people are really starting to talk about this whole ICE isn't getting paid. Now, y'all saw I spoke about that shit 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? I don't even remember. A lot of the icicles are not cashing a check. Okay, y'all be a lot of the icicles. I'm telling you, they gonna have to do it for the love of just being horrible human beings and destructive. Okay, because I don't think they not getting paid. So they're talking about they're gonna have icicles posted outside election centers all across America. I have a question. I have a big question. Why would immigrations and customs officers be posted outside of election offices? Please make that make sense. Please make that sense. Please. How does that make sense? Do you know that there are police officers that are stationed at every polling site in America? Well, I don't. Maybe some of y'all mid-America people don't have that. I'm not sure. But I know in New York City, I know in major states and shit. I'm even going to put that on y'all. There are police officers. Maybe if you don't have police, sheriffs, deputies, whatever the fuck, are posted at every election site in America. Y'all know this, right? In New York City, for a fact, every election site, the police officers, hold up, because y'all love to talk about, police, y'all know I work elections. I've been working elections for damn near 20 years at this point. The police officers are the ones who come in with it's the police. The police officers are the ones who have the keys to open machines and start elections. The police officers are the ones that take the ballots at the end of the night. The police officers are the ones who do all of that. Do y'all know that? They're cops. cops who are actually trained professionals, not immigrations and what the fuck is immigration and customs officers? I wish y'all hoes would. I wish y'all, I keep telling y'all do what y'all want in middle America. If y'all want to have them torturing y'all, that's cool. I wish a hoe would in New York City. That shit sounds diabolical. Okay. I heard I heard icicles popped up in Jersey though. I'm not even gonna hold you. I heard they popped up in Jersey. People started Jersey. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it going too good for them in Jersey either. Jersey is on it. I heard they popped up, what it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, on the metro, on a train. I couldn't even imagine icicles on New York City public transportation. Bruh. Oh my God. I'm not even going to say anything because we all know, we grandmother up. We know how that'll happen. Okay. But they're in Jersey and they pulled a whole, I think they allegedly snatched up 6 people, I think. I'm not sure. I heard it was like 6 people. I don't know. I wasn't there. But they talk about after they got cited, the fucking trains were empty. Like people were, because you got to remember, again, unlike New York, a lot of people in Jersey drive. They take trains for certain things, but they don't have to take trains. Baby, I heard that the whole metro system got reduced to like 10%. It was probably only the icicles on the train, child, because they was not having it. Listen, Jersey, especially what part of Jersey you from, unless they going for the Italianos. Y'all going for the Italians? Are y'all going to Jersey for the Italians? Because even Italians, I don't know if you want the smoke with them Jersey Italians. I don't know if you want that smoke. I don't know. Okay, because they don't give a flying fuck. Okay, they don't. They ain't got their papers. They don't got nothing, and they don't care. Okay, they be turned up. Don't be going to Jersey Shore thinking you gonna snatch up some of them Italians. Okay, they gonna whoop your ass like you was in Flatbush again. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. But hey, y'all go fuck with Jersey if you want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, what else is going on in the news? It's so much foolishness. Oh, hold on. It is so much freaking foolishness happening. It's just a day by day. They're cannibals, but we're animals, right? She said they're cannibals, but we're animals, right? Yeah, Caucasian people are cannibals. We know that. Y'all have eaten people. Shit, if you ask me, y'all still out here eating motherfuckers. All these missing people, all them shit. All them, yeah, they cannibals. This is what y'all literally have, like clothes out of human skin, like whole cannibals. It's it is what it is. I guess I don't know. It's all right. That's why they don't like to teach history. You can ask them Europeans. At least them Europeans know their history. I give you that. You gotta know where you come from to know where you're going. At least the Europeans know their history and they'll tell you about certain things. But the ones here, they be wanting to pretend. They be wanting to pretend, but just a lineage of debauchery, child. A lineage of debauchery. She said they don't deserve to get paid. They all belong in jail. They will be in jail. That's what's so funny. It's okay, girl. They will be chased. You see how France just did? And I want y'all to pay attention because all of this shit is connected. Okay. The world is not, and I get it. We're American, we a lot of these people who are doing this shit, they have never left their state. A lot of them ain't never left their cities, right? Let's be for real. Their state, let alone this country. Like, this world is ginormous, and this fucking world is not playing with us anymore. We fucked around and we're literally finding out France popped that shit off with Elon. Pay attention. The files dropped. They even got the fucking Prince Andrew over there. He's getting snatched up. The European, he is on line to the throne, y'all. He's on line to the throne, y'all. And it's a whole fucking thing happening over there. You got to pay attention to what's happening in the world with him. When Melinda, it was Melinda, I keep forgetting the lady name. When Melinda Gates said, you know, things are happening, we have to look outside of just us, our state, our country. They ran down on Musk. That tells you the world is at a point now where they don't give a fuck who you are. They not letting you destroy this bitch as in this planet. They're not gonna let you do it. They don't care how much money you got. They don't care how much idiots you got running behind you, aka Gestapo. They don't care about none of that. They ran down on this whole Musk, and then to top it off, they was popping shit towards him on fucking Twitter. These are the descendants of the people who cut a bitch head off because she thought it was cute to tell him to go eat cake. Okay? These are the people. These are the descendants of the people who don't give a fuck about nothing. France was over here helping us to achieve freedom. And guess what France is attempting to do now? Attempting to get us to again do what? Achieve fucking freedom. This is so deep. And I love it for the ignorant people in the comments who are worrying about if I can get a husband or not. Like, bitch, getting a husband is the easiest thing to do. Shit, my mama on number 4. Oh my God. Like, the fuck you talking about? You gonna get a husband. Bitch, that's the easiest thing on this world to do is get one of y'all dusty, rusty motherfuckers. That's the problem. Y'all keep thinking about stupid shit when the world is showing you what they about to do to you. The Europeans, you know, I'm gonna say this. White people are majority in America, right? We know that. Even though their birth rates at this point, I think I just saw an article where they were like, they're only 50% of the birth rates in America, right? This is the only country in the only continent. Because when I say continent, genius people, I am talking about the United States, Canada, some people might consider Central America part of the North American continent. Some people might consider that the South American continent. I don't know. Point is, this continent is the only one with a large amount of y'all. In the world is only 8%. I bet you, listen, them Europeans, whether they are from Russia all the way to the fucking coast of Spain, bitch, them Europeans are on some shit. Them Europeans are on some, we need to be the only white people left on this planet kind of shit. And I high-key love it for them. Them Europeans, y'all were so worried about us, right? But them Europeans, all of them, have been trying to wipe y'all out for a long fucking time. Y'all, a long fucking time. And I think y'all just gave them an opportunity to. It's just fucking crazy. White on white violence. I don't know. I just think y'all gave them an opportunity because they've been trying to get, that's why they ship half of y'all over here. Because y'all was the low class. And it keeps showing. Keep showing y'all behavior. Keep showing. It was like, get the fuck out of Europe, and you keep showing like Elon. You know, they sent them motherfuckers down to South Africa, and they just kept being embarrassing, child. They can't even go back home because they just like, get the fuck out of here. Just the lower the low. Anywho, so Elon got raided. The Gustav, the slave catchers. Let's not even call them Gustav. The wannabe slave catchers. Shit, at least the slave catchers was getting fucking paid. The wannabe slave catchers, they're not going to be able to run nowhere in this world. Shit, anywhere they ran to previously, aka, before, during the other wars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. At this point, you have destroyed, you as in, white power, have destroyed any of those relationships. And like, Argentina's not taking you. We know Venezuela's not taking you. Where are you going? Where you going? Because y'all be like, oh, something happened, I'm moving to Europe. Them hoes don't want you. Remember that guy who was upset because he had 3 daughters? You know what's so crazy? He had 3 daughters, and he was so upset because who knows, somebody might have said gay at his daughter's school. I don't know, child. And he moved his wife and his 3 daughters to Russia. And Russians don't fuck with y'all. Y'all know that, right? I know that. I'm from Brooklyn. The whole south side of Brooklyn is Russians. They don't like y'all, but okay, fine. He moved to Russia because, he just saw they're blonde, they're blue eyes. They're not the same blonde and blue eyes as you. They don't fuck with you. And they put his ass to war. At war. And I think he thought that they thought he was special, and they was going to put him at a desk job or something, or put him in the back. Like, they put his ass up front. He died on day 1. And now his wife and his 3 daughters are running around here with no pappy. I keep telling y'all, it's expensive. It's expensive. I don't know what the fuck. It's expensive to be so fucking ignorant. Anywho, what else is going on? Let me think. It's a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's just constantly. Ooh, Tulsi? No. Oh my gosh, what's this girl name? Tulsi? Whatever. Espionage, y'all. Espionage. All it, like I said, them things that were in the Epstein files, you got to remember, it took like 1,000 FBI agents months of redacting, and still look what dropped. There are unalivings. There are probably thousands of unalivings in there that were redacted. There are espionage plots. Remember when Hillary Clinton was telling y'all, y'all forgot that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, aka she knew where a lot of these bones was buried. She knew more than she knew when she was the what do you call it? The president's wife. Well, she's still, but you know what I mean. When Bill was in office, she was the Secretary of State for a few years. And she was telling y'all, but y'all was so caught up in her pantsuits and her calling y'all by the deplorable name that you deserve, that you missed all of that. She was exposing it. And I think a lot of that shit is what they actually took out of the Jeffrey files. I think a lot of that, like I told you, I really believe there's a lot of unalivings, a lot of torture. I believe there's a lot of wild shit that was in there that the SA was the least of the least of the worries in those files. I really believe that they kept saying, oh, it's, but I think that is the least that they were concerned with getting out, because it's a lot of freaking shit. Okay, it's a lot of horrendous, horrible shit. People are literally, selling their lives away to the Russians. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I do get it. I ain't gonna hold you. I get it, because ignorance is a fucking hell of a thing. Ignorance is a hell of a thing. And that's why I've never been okay with like being stupid and just going with whatever, being able to critically think, especially in this world, as a human being, especially in this time, is so fucking important, because shit is really just in people's faces, and just biased, not wanting to deal with the realities has already caused enough, destruction in this world. Like what the fuck? But whatever. Like I said, at the end of the day, I believe they're all going to pay. I believe, and I don't just believe it's going to be the slave catchers running around here either. I believe it's going to be the people who, how because they're trying to intimidate, quote unquote liberals. I don't, the liberal, they on the shit too. You either gonna stand on business, you either stand for something, or you fall for anything, right? And everybody who fall for anything, I believe they're all gonna have to, they're all gonna be made to come to task. It's going to be insane out here, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be on the other side of this. Like I said, it's gonna be some other shit. It's gonna be some real other shit. And if that happens in my lifetime, hey. Um Milagro says, I think all states have officers that make sure nobody cheats or nobody starts a fight. They don't need icicles to terrorize people from voting. That's Orangina's plan to keep people from voting. Yeah. That's what I said. I believe it's all states, but again, I live in New York, so I know for a fact the cops are the ones who bring the keys to open up voting. The cops are the ones at the end of the night who take the whatever. The cops are the one, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? I see it going down real bad, real bad. But hey, if that's what they want to do, because they desperate, because they know they about to be put up out of here, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, boo. I don't know what you want me to say. She said they ain't on shit out here in Chicago. Okay. She said Chicago, they chilling out in Chicago. Like I said, I feel like they know what's up. They know what's up, because I don't know, but I don't think they like send these icicles to like different states. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I think for the most part, they're in their own states, and I just feel like I said, when I read off that list last week of all the areas where icicle allegedly is in New York State, or New York City, they're places that are majority void of people who look like me. They are they are the heavy Hispanic areas, and the heavy Asian and Indian areas. When I was reading off that list, like it was like last week, the week before, whatever, I was like, yeah, okay, of course there's going to be some Black people who live there, et cetera, in the vicinity, but those were heavy, not Black immigrant neighborhoods. Okay, they were heavy Indian neighborhoods. They were heavy, neighborhoods of people. And I say what I say, and I stand on it. Who don't fully comprehend that they're not a part of and voted for their own destruction. That would be the first place I would go to, if I was going to do some shit like that. Like, okay, so let's go to these ignorant, stupid immigrants store. That's why they're in Minneapolis, right? Because it was a whole thing. Because people asking, why they're in Minneapolis? Because if you know anything about the whole Minneapolis thing, they wanted to say the Somalians. But the people who was in charge of all of that fraud or whatever, the lady who was in charge of it was a white woman. And it was like 2 or 3 people who got arrested who were like underneath her, no shade, no tea, but they were Black American, The Somalians went down that list, but it was, okay, this when those areas, and I stand on this, the areas where the people thought, that's why they hit up certain areas in Florida, because you literally voted for this. You thought it mattered. You thought you meant something. And it was like, okay, because it gives a thought. Come with me now, ride with me now, ride with me now. We who, like in New York, give an example, New York City neighborhoods who are heavily Caribbean, Black in general, did not vote for this foolishness, right? It was those other neighborhoods, because for whatever reason, they thought they were a part of the people who wanted to fight affirmative action, the Indians who thought they were down, and did not realize that, they don't want y'all here either. It was those neighborhoods. So those people have the kind of mentality that makes them think they're a part of. Those are the people who you could snatch up, right? Because they think they think they are down. See, they tried to come to Flatbush once, and Black people, regardless of where you from, we know we not down. We know we never down. We know we never gonna be down. We know if you snatch one of us, we know we might never see that motherfucker ever again. You know what I'm saying? Everybody about to turn up. They don't comprehend that. They really maybe it's because of where they're from, especially the Indians, where they're from. For them to even be here, they have to be at the top of the cast. So they don't fully comprehend that. They still think they are a privileged class. They're a privileged class where they are from, but over here, they're not a privileged class. They vote like they are still the privileged class. Peep game. So the privileged class, if you think, oh my God, it's like when the white people are so astonished about what happens to them, like, let me speak to your manager, sort of mentality, right? It's the same shit. So they can go to these, Asian areas or whatever, or Indian areas and snatch holes up, the Spanish areas and snatch holes up, and nobody's gonna argue because they still think they are where they're from. If you peep game, they still think they have the same power, leverage, or like you'll understand, or like after these people grab them up, they'll realize that they are, a privileged person. So that is why, in my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, just like the Palestinian Americans, that's why they ran through their neighborhoods, because y'all voted for this. And y'all really, if y'all had any common sense, you wouldn't have put yourself and your community in this situation. But because you put yourself and your community in this situation, and because you don't want to, a lot of humans don't want to look like they made a mistake, right? So y'all will sit up and allow this shit to happen to you in your community and be like, well, I don't know why they would do this to us, because we're decent people. Because then you see, we voted for you. We're decent people. And by the time they realize that they don't give a fuck about you thinking you a decent people, they've already eradicated half of your fucking population. Okay, but that can't happen in Black neighborhoods, really, because regardless, except for a dumb bitch like Nicki Minaj, whatever. But because in our communities, you're black if you're black if you're black, if you understand what I'm saying. And we already know, and most of the people that even if they are um not, they're not born here, right? Or their parents not born here. They're still born of or come from, because again, there's a lot of Caribbean people. Where how did we end up in the Caribbean, right? On the same ships that brought people to the mainland, if you want to say that. So they are still descendants of the same foolishness, and they still have the same understanding of how we got here and who we are in this, realm of foolishness. Get me? hmm She said, "Isn't Chicago crazy?" Look at this. Why do you think? I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna stand on business. Why do you think the vaccine? But you know what? You know what, Toja? You know what, y'all? We're letting them. Like I said, the worst thing we ever did, and we were punished for it. Okay. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We were punished for it. When the Moors went up there and saved them after they were going through plague after plague after plague. These hoes was in multiple plagues at the same fucking time. Okay. They were not meant to be here. Okay. I don't think, and I think God popped us on a hand for teaching them how to wash, for teaching them, just how to, you know, survive in this world, right? We got popped, we got put in chains, we got punished, and now on the other side, again, we come about that, we came about that, and they're reverting back to the people that were supposed to keep up with me now, be eradicated from this planet. And the gag is, we're not going to do it. No one, they're doing it to themselves. So yes, they're eating raw meat. Yes, they're not taking vaccines. That's great for them. Okay. Yes. Cool. They're drinking raw milk and they're making it cool again. This is the mindset. This is who they are. They were only able to survive as long as they did. And I stand on this because we taught them how to. They were never supposed to continue to be here. I stand on that. And whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's Mother Earth, whether it's whatever you want to say, is reverting them back. And I love that for them. Is reverting. That's why they get so excited when they say they don't bathe anymore. We are the ones who taught them how to. They're reverting back to that. They lived in a world where they really thought, and they didn't understand how they got sick. They didn't understand, how the plagues would spread and how they would have multiple plagues, and how in times where just give an example, we talk about the depression or whatever. Let's talk about the depression. During the depression, what was happening in the Black community during the depression? Anybody? Any hands? Anyone? During the depression, where y'all was starving, and you would have 10 kids and maybe only 2 survived, 3 at the most. What was happening? Let me roll down and see if any of our people is going to come up with an answer. What was happening? Thank you, boo. Somebody tell me what was happening in the Black community while the depression was in full throttle and these people were falling out and dying. Mm-hmm. Somebody said, there we go. When the Depression was in full force, what was it? What time was it? The Harlem fucking Renaissance. Hello? We were out here doing art. We were out here. We were not losing kids. Mind you, remember, we still were living in the same time with less, like we are what now? But we are able to survive because we've been here, we've done that. We already know what's up. During the Depression, when they were starving to death, doing all of the weird shit that they were doing, we were having 10 kids. How many Black people in here have 8 aunts and uncles, or their grandmother had 8 brothers and sisters? That's not how those other people were living because they could not survive. We were thriving. And we're going back in again. Every time, because they keep at a point, they kept catching themselves, right? Get something out of us, and we would try to assist, we would try to help, whatever. Now it is they're on their own. And they're back to eating raw meat. Mm-hmm. They're back to drinking milk right out the bitch belly. They're back to not bathing. The critical think they're fighting. They're fighting. The girls are fighting to get rid of any sort of critical thinking for them or their children. They're fighting. They're fighting it. They're fighting to go back. They talk about, I'll make America great again. No. They're fighting to go back to the time when they were going to be, I'm trying to think of a word that won't be offensive. A time. I have the word in my mind, but it's not coming to me because normally we don't think about this word. Extinct. There we go. I was about to say, normally we don't think of this word when we're thinking about people. It's normally animals, but at the end of the day, people are still animals. Going back to a point in time where they were continuing to fight for their own extinction. Okay? When they were battling for their fucking extinction. And again, we just have to sit back and relax and let them do what they're going to do. Who knows? That's their business. If the Europeans are like, the Europeans see it because, what, one thing about Europe, one thing about Russia, one thing about France, one thing about, Germany, one thing about all of Europe, they actively work hard to understand their history, right? They did not run to a new country to try to escape who they were, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They know their history and they know how this shit gonna go down because, again, it has gone down over and over and over again. They have attempted to learn said lesson when the people over here just didn't want to learn it back then, ran over here and then didn't teach their kids. And you know what they say, the failures of the parents will play onto the child. Sorry, I'm looking at something. Anyway, so yeah, what was I talking about? I don't know. Y'all know I just go off. I love, I should have been a history teacher. I ain't even gonna hold you. I should have been a history teacher. Anyway, so yeah, they're probably gonna be going. It's fine. They want to eat. They want to eat raw meat. Just be like, that's cool. Like, wow, that's great. They don't want to get vaccines. That's cool. The thing is, at least they're not canceling the vaccine, so we can still get them for our children if we want them. So that's fine. Or even if they do, we already naturally have a higher immune system. So cool. It's whatever. We just gotta let them do what they do, and they're gonna do what they do so hard, they're gonna take themselves up out of here. Okay. Somebody said, I'm European and can trace my lineage back 1,000 years. I guess in you school. No cannibals. Yes, y'all are. And I agree, you probably could trace your lineage back 1,000 years. And y'all are, let's not talk about the famines of the famines. Let's not talk about the famines of the famines. Okay? And don't get it cracked up. You know what they say? The girl says, she said, "Oh, you must have your US education." No, boo. I have a black US education. Put that in perspective. You might not know the difference because we're just not considered over here. AKA I've always had to know more to be anything here. That would make more sense if you said, you have a U.S. education. If I was some white girl from Middle America, that would make sense. But that's not how it works for people who look like me in this country, who are educated. Trust and believe we know a shit ton because we have to. Because we have to. It is the burden and the benefit of being black in America. Shit, black anywhere, really. Because we have to work or be exceptional. Because we have to be exceptional. We have always worked to be exceptional. Did y'all see that? Oh my God, I can't remember his name right now. But he went out for senator in Texas, and the white dude tried to call him a mediocre white man. A mediocre black man. I fell out. You cannot take these people seriously. You know how, again, they don't know because they don't understand, they don't grasp, they think they know, but they have no idea. So you can't really take them seriously. It doesn't really affect me because I know you know nothing about people who look like me, my culture. You probably never met a black person in your life, and that's cool, that's fine. You probably don't know any of us really, okay? We all know y'all don't know us. That's like, well, we ain't even gonna go there because I'm not teaching y'all any more history because y'all are slow. Anyway, we know y'all don't know us. So he told this black Colin, oh man, I can't remember his name, but the guy, he was I think he was a Marine. He went out for Senate before. He left, he dropped out just because Jasmine Crockett was in it, because he was like, you know what, you could do it better than I could do it, sis. Go ahead and do it. And then this white man, dead ass, tried to call him a mediocre white man. Just because you say it don't mean it's true. Because again, common sense is so common. That's all I'm gonna say. Common sense is so common. We already know what it is. Just like them I heard people say that they're trying to change the word unk. We ain't even gonna tell them what it means, because if they stupid, let them be stupid. Into what? Unpopular, some shit. I don't know. Oh my God. You just gotta let people live in their own delusion of delusion at this point. And you're right. I didn't say all Europeans. That was, but again, that was the fact that she took it like that, or whoever took the bot or whatever took it like that, is because they, but if she's European and she knows that a lot of this shit that I'm saying is true, let's not be retarded. Let's not be hasty. Let's not play these games. And then it's again to attempt to talk about my US education. Do you know how underfunded the black neighborhoods in America are? Let alone I live in New York. Do you know how hard you gotta go to be able to achieve when everything is stacked against you and it's not just handed to you because you are what is considered the minority in this world, and people just gonna let you go, just let your mediocrity be cool because it's normal. Do you know how hard you have to work? You have to study. You have to push? No, you wouldn't, because you've never had to be in that position. So, imagine. Imagine. Um Somebody said they're a poll watcher. Okay, cool. So yeah, you know that there are police in there 24/7. There's a cop stationed at every fucking poll center in America. And again, they're the ones who bring in and they're the ones who bring out. Let me just show this. Why would an immigration officer need to be at a poll site? Think about what you're saying. Why would an immigration and customs or the people who will work are supposed to work at the airport and at border patrol be at a poll site? People who are not trained in anything, because they just give them guns. But that's the shit I be talking about. That's what I be talking about. And make it make sense. Make it make sense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I try to have, decent conversations here, especially when I'm off camera. Like I said, I'm chilling. I feel a lot better than I felt yesterday, but I didn't want to have to get up. I'm in my bed. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm dressed or whatever, but I felt like a talking video would have been great. She said, "Hey, Empress." Empress said, "My grandmother has 17 children, and most of them were born during the Great Depression." Exactly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because again, when they say these things like, people died during the Depression, they're not including us. They're not. They try when they attempt to separate the history is when they cannot connect the history. Because you could try to separate it all you want, like I'm good with timelines in my mind, right? I've always been good with that. Like, social studies and history, and I killed it because I could connect timelines. I know what's happening here. Martin Luther King and Anne Frank were born at the same fucking time. Like these things are fucking not. These things are 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 like interchangeable. Like it doesn't, like you have to comprehend that. And if you can't if you don't allow your mind, right, to see the big picture, then you are taking an L. That's a part of critical thinking that they're not comprehending. Like if the Great Depression, like right now, y'all think we gonna die out, y'all think all of this weird shit, right? Cool. You have seen, if you have seen in history, recent history, grandmamas and great grandmothers, kind of recent, right? That there was a time in history where they tell you, people died and it was a bunch of, but then on that same side, on that same uptown, a couple of blocks away, not even another country, on another continent, a couple of blocks away, there were people who had 10, 11, 12 fucking children. There was a whole downtown. I'm just thinking of New York. I'm just thinking of New York in this moment. The stocks were crashing. The slums were slumming. Okay? These Caucasian babies were dying every day. And you would go uptown and it was thriving. And Harlem was popping. And the Renaissance was happening. And people were having 10, 12 kids and maybe one or two passed. What do you think is the difference in that? Mind you, there were no safeguards back then, nothing, just regular shit. And just human nature, whatever, then it will be now. When y'all taking away Medicaid, who the fuck do you think is gonna die? Y'all so desperate thinking, oh, because it's just like how a lot of the Republican states, I say this a lot, they vote for, to strip things in hope of the one or two black people who might live in their neighborhoods or in their community might not have, right? They vote to do that. Not understanding for those black people who live in your community, that means that they have, because they have more because they had to work 3 times as hard to get there. So you're voting to like get rid of education, right? Get rid of TAP grants, get rid of, so your kids can't go to colleges because you're voting to keep other people kids down when the reality is you're keeping your own kids down. You understand what I'm saying? Do we get it? Like, it's the same kind of thought. It's like, y'all, they be like, yeah, let's take away food stamps and all this weird shit, right? But then you come to really think about it, and like majority of the people on food stamps are Caucasian and in Republican states. So your kids are going to go hungry and be malnourished. And your DNA already sucks. The genetics is not on your side. Okay, genetics is not on your side. And then you're gonna have a lack of nutrition on top of subpar genetics, and then destroy the education system and destroy any opportunities that your children may have in hopes that you can keep 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever black people in your community from possibly achieving. And then fuck SNAP, and then take away their insurance again in hopes that it's like cut my nose to spite my face all the fucking time, constantly. College used to be free in America, but because they felt the way, because other people were able to attain it. So to keep other people from attaining it, right? Other people, aka people that look like me, to attempt to try to keep other people from obtaining it, right? Because again, I told you we work harder, whatever. You cut off the opportunities for your children, yourselves, your grandchildren, your mom, your parents, whatever, to have attained anything. To have attained the same shit you tried to snatch from somebody else. It's like when they desegregated, right? And y'all started throwing bleach and shit and all this weird shit in public pools, right? Same kind of mentality, like just to possibly keep a couple black people from potentially slip swimming in your fucking pool, and in a fucking community pool. You lost your pool. Okay, yeah, you didn't, you tried, the black people can't swim in the pool, but neither can you. No? Y'all don't get it? Y'all don't get it? Y'all don't get it? Shit. Y'all need to be crying. Y'all talking about, and then again, you got people in the comments talking about when the fuck did I say anything about reparations? Come on, man. Like right now, right? Y'all fought the DEI so hard, right? Y'all had the Asians jump it off for you because they thought they was down. They thought they was down, but they weren't. We already know that. But they had to figure that out on their own. They still coming to terms with that, but whatever. Then y'all took away completely DEI. Cool. And then now you want to, it's supposed to be on merit, right? Cool. But who has the most merit? Not you. Who has worked towards whatever goal, whatever it is, whether it's a state job, private job, this industry, that industry? Who are the people who have to work 3-4 times as hard to achieve what is just handed to you. Come on, man. Common sense. Let's think. Talk about reparations, please. We ain't even go there. We talking about regular old shit. DEI. Do y'all know that y'all as in white men, our last year and this upcoming year is about to be even worse, are about to have fewer college acceptances? Why? Do you know why? It's a question. Do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why? Because more women, just women, we're not talking about race or nothing, just more women. I think it's like a 75% more. The college application situation is, I believe, is like 75% women, female, 25% male, right? Right? 75 on average. Some places is 70, 30, whatever, but for the most part, it's like that, right? DEI was trying to keep the accept. So let's say, let's use Brown as an example, right? 75% of Brown's applicants are women. 25% of Brown applicants are male. We're not talking about race. We're just talking about sex. Cool. But because, they trying to be fair, whether it was racial, whatever, they were accepting more male applicants so they could have an even class, or attempt to have an even class every year of about 50% men and 50% women, which means even though there was 75% of female applicants, and a lot of those applicants were stronger applicants than the 25% of males who were accepted, a lot of men were accepted into these colleges just to balance out the fucking numbers, even though if all things were fair, they would not have been accepted in the first place. So now, because of y'all fucking around thinking, trying to take opportunities away from the 2% of Black people who might actually get into the school, you cut your nose again to spite your fucking face. Because now, I believe it was last year, it's the trend is still going. It was like 65% of the new applicants of the new kids admitted for the year. And again, admissions for this year are about to come out in the next 2 months. But last year, like 65%, because now let's go off of merit, right? Now let's go off of merit. So now it's waning more towards the 65% of accepted applicants are women, because now y'all said it don't have to be fair. So now there will be less men who are able to attend, or even even accepted. Because if all the applicant pool is just tossed in together and we're not going to differentiate anything, then what are the chances of the 25% of applicants who are males still receiving 50% of the admissions? Please get these likes up. Thank you so much, Bree. Please get these likes up. Somebody says, as a sexist, this is untrue. Okay. As a sexist, this is untrue. Okay. Okay, boo. All right. Okay. That's all I got to say. Okay. That's it. All right. But anyway, that's just, we had a great talk. That was a great conversation. It was a great conversation. We started from Elon Musk. We touched on a lot of topics today. I told y'all some history. Again, I know that a lot of you are gonna ignore it and act like I'm wrong because how could a black person know anything more than I would know? Because how could that happen? I get it. That's cool. You don't have to accept it. You can ignore everything that I said. It's cool, it's gravy. The people who are supposed to hear the message will hear the message. The people who know will know, and the rest of y'all will learn, I guess. Like Marie Antoinette said, you gotta let them eat all the cake. Let them eat the cake. Oh my God. Right? Oh my God. She said they are still complaining and can barely write a paper. Remember that lady who attacked her trans teacher? Exactly. It's delusional. Bray, we've been here for the last hour, and I really, really try. I really, really just try to be easy. But I went back. We talked about history. We talked about their cannibalism. I really tried to just give them a word, and they just refuse. And you know what? It's not for me. It's not for me. My word ain't even for them. My word is for people who look like me. Okay, I stand on business. If they don't like it, that's a personal. That's a personal. Okay, y'all, you live in Delulu land all that you want. The reality of history, the reality of time. This is why they don't. This is, it's so funny. Like they keep thinking, like, when you erase history, that's y'all burn books and all this weird shit. But like, we know our history. They don't tell you your history because how did you not understand? How did it take so long? For the simple question, when I asked what was happening to the Black community during the Depression, that you did not know the answer. None of y'all knew the answer. Y'all were just saying a bunch of weird shit and did not know the answer, did not understand the question, and to have no correlation on how that and just how things broke down then are playing out now. The correlation between the two, like completely, it's just right over your head. And like I said, maybe it's meant to be right over your head. We've all been getting our downloads. Y'all shit is still on floppy disk. Okay? Y'all shit is still on floppy disk, okay? And it's not my job to tell to try to tell you to try to teach you better. It's not our job. We did that before. We already got powed real hard on our hand for like 400 fucking years, okay? We're sitting down. We tried and we're sitting down. So you go ahead and revert back to the raw milk. Like somebody in the chat said, they're currently eating raw chicken and shit, raw beef, just raw. Go ahead, please. Please, and go to the forest, go drink unfiltered water. All of that. We're telling you it's okay. We're not arguing with you about it. If that's what you want to do, enjoy it. We are here to support you. I am here to support you as you drink that as you drink as you drink the milk. I'm okay with you eating the raw chicken. You go to the restaurant and you tell them that you want your chicken undercooked. You want your chicken medium rare. I support you. I support you. You want your chicken medium rare. I am not going to argue. I'm not going to. No, we're okay. We are here to say if that's what you want to do, cool. You go to the woods, you drink, you cup the spring, you cup the water in the spring, you cup it up, and you sip it. And we are here to support you sipping that cupped water. You don't want to shower, you don't want to wash your legs, you want to bathe, you want to go, okay. No shots? Cool. No vaccines? I'm with you. If you don't want to take a vaccine, I am here to support your choices. Mm-hmm. I see. But I'm here to support their choices. If they want to drink the raw milk, okay. Okay. I'm not even gonna look at you crazy. I'm gonna just be, if I hear you, if I'm at a restaurant eating and I hear you at another table talking about you want your chicken medium rare, baby, you can get your chicken medium rare. I'm not even gonna look. I'm not even gonna look like what? Nothing. I support your choice. I support all of it. You want to be at the doctors arguing with the you want to be at the hospital arguing with your doctors about a measles shot? Please, doctors, don't argue with them no more. Just give my child a measles shot because I'm asking for it. Let them do what they got to do. It's okay. It's all right. I ain't mad at you. If it makes you feel, I was gonna say, if it makes you feel, if it makes y'all feel, because I was gonna say if it makes you feel human, but I don't know if that's the right verbiage. I think human, being human or whatever is, but that's a whole different story. If it makes you feel good, let's say that. If it makes you feel special, if it feels right in your blood, if your ancestors are telling you that you need to eat raw chicken, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to tell you not to? If your ancestors say to leave your plate right next to the dog bowl the way y'all did before the Moors taught you not to, who the fuck am I? Who am I? Not I, Sway. If you want to drink that raw milk, who the fuck am I to tell you anything? Go ahead. Do what you think is appropriate for you. You want to get rid of insurance? Cool. Do it's okay. Because there might be one parent in your whole state that is thinking about, the child and trans or whatever the fuck. Whatever. Do what's good for you. I support you. I support your decisions. She said the people they are listening to, yes. We spoke about that earlier. We spoke about like Elon and the weirdness of it all, and how it's a lot of that inbreeding, and how historically that has been a major factor in the destruction of majority of their societies. Like, yeah, people getting ahead of themselves, the rich and whatever, but a lot of those people, was a lot of inbreeding. And, the mental capacities keep going down the more and more you inbreed. But if that's what y'all want to do, I heard one of the kings, I forgot oh my Lord. I be watching so much, but I forgot the name. This man named Hausenberg. I forgot the pronunciation in the moment. But like one of the last ones was so. This is how gross it is, y'all. Or I guess this is regal for y'all. I guess so. Just listen. One of the last ones who was, I think he was a king of over by Russia, before it was Russia, over the year, and they can't procreate. The mental capacity is not there, and when his blood was like syrup, like real shit. Like syrup. Like that is not something like They look like The Hills Have Eyes, but it's not a movie. This is a historical documents. Like, and it's different shit going on in there when you are boinking your sisters in them. It's different shit. The blood don't look like other people's blood. It's a lot of weird shit happening. It's a lot of space within the brain with a lot of white pus. It's a lot of wild shit happening. And these are the people that you have allowed to run your societies into the ground. Just bonkers. Look at Elon. Since we were speaking about Elon earlier and how Paris was like, fuck you, play with me if you want to. Elon dad was out here doing things to the daughters. Y'all know that? To the daughters. To the stepdaughters, allegedly, to the daughters who he created, allegedly, you know? Do y'all think it is a coincidence that Elon daughters don't fuck with him? Do you? I'm just curious. Do you think it's a coincidence that his daughters don't mess with him? I know, I guess y'all think it's normal because y'all do them things to your daughters here. I don't know, but you think it's a coincidence? I don't know. Anyway, I done ran my mouth for damn near an hour and a half. I had fun. Okay. I might be back later. Like I said, I'm chilling. I'm minding my business. I'm enjoying my day. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. Having a good old conversation with y'all really, really made my day go. What is this? Really, really made my day go by better. I have a smile on my face. I'm enjoying the time. All right. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. I'll probably come back later. You know what? I'll come back later. So we can continue a conversation about what's happening in this world. I'm over everything. I keep telling y'all, like at this point, I don't give a fuck about nothing. We just gonna keep it a buck because like, what else is gonna happen? You know, what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do but be honest with y'all? Like the fakeness and the, you know, trying to pretend like it is not what it is. It's not, it's just not. It's just not. Okay. We've come to a point. We've come to a fork in the road. Okay. And this fork, and I've taken the side of just telling it like it is because we're fucking over it. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And as always, I hope you live your life like it's golden because there's no other way to live it. And if you're one of those people who have a red hat, do yourself a favor and go read a book.